great. We've got all these dancing folks. We've got our party going on. And we know how to do this with just a few lines of code. There's one other thing that we can do with these for loops and arrays in conjunction with objects and classes that's really powerful, and that's goes back to that what I showed you in the last video in that other series was passing arguments to the constructor. So we know that we're looping through this and it's just incrementing every time, right? And so whether it's 10 dancers or 25 dancers, every time we do this, this value I just goes up to that, right? So what we can do is we can pass a value inside of here so that if, let's say, for example, we wanted to make sure that all of our party goers here had, different sizes that scaled to when they were created, right? So the first people who came to the party are way in the back, and then the people who came later on, they're up in front. So they're going to be perceptually a little bit larger, right? So what we can do is we can pass this value right here into our constructor, same way we were doing before. And what I'll do is I'll add this as an argument inside of here. And so when we take our how wide and how high these folks are, I'll just say the height of these people will be h times, actually we're going to say h plus 1 because the first thing in here is going to be 0. So we'll say h plus 1 times 30. And then the width, what we'll do is we'll scale that based off of the height, right? So we'll say the width is based off of the well, no, we'll just leave it like this. Why not, right? Let's go nuts. So we'll leave it like this and see what happens. So I'm passing this value here. I'm using it to then change the height of these folks. And so now when I save this and run it, we can see some people are really tall, some people are really short, and all of that is because it's getting passed on through the constructor. When we first call it, these values come through, and so they're like this little fellow right here is probably the first one, and then the taller ones we could figure out based off of their height as well, right? So this is how you can start to pass this information inside of here and do something interesting with it. You can pass as many arguments as you want. Like we said before, you could do something like this where instead of, say, like the height, you could pass it in to maybe, the opacity, right? So here we've got, we're changing this to the opacity of all of our folks. So inside of our fill, we now say this dot A, and they will get, they will be very dim up to very bright. We'll change this to 255, so we get like everybody in there. There we go. Now we've got a massive slow jam going on, and you can see some people are kind of like translucent, some people are solid colored, and that depends on when they were created inside of this for loop. So the people with like a value of 0, you can see right through them. People with a value of 255, fully opaque. But again, it's just something to sort of to think about. It gives you a lot of capacity to make changes, small changes that have a really big impact on your overall sketch, how it looks, and how it functions.